Hello everybody, it's Andrew Hutchings here, and this video is probably unnecessary, but I felt like making a video about unrealistic expectations. So nowadays, because of the internet and social media, people are often comparing themselves to literally the top like 0.0001%. They're comparing themselves to the very best in the entire world. I remember maybe half a year ago, I was watching some Instagram video, and someone was, I don't remember what they were lifting, but they were doing a pretty impressive amount of weight. Like maybe they were benching 400 pounds or something. And someone writes in the comment, "That isn't very impressive, the world record is." And he writes the world record. And the guy wasn't gigantic, so if you're like 350 pounds, yeah, 400 pounds isn't that impressive. But if you're 200-pound person and you're benching 400 pounds, that's impressive. But yeah, other people can do it. Doesn't mean it's not impressive. Yes, the world record is a lot higher. It doesn't mean 400 isn't impressive. It's like I can bench 315 for a few reps, or 330 is my most I've done. I did 2 reps recently. Is that a lot? I would say it's a lot, but even I fall into the trap of, well, that's not 500 or 600 pounds, and that's how much the world record would be. But most of the time, I'm very aware that, yes, 300 pounds is a good amount of weight. It is a lot. If you need some help in the head, simply go to someone in the gym and ask. We'll use 300 pounds, 315 bench press, for example. Hey, is 3 plates on the bench press a good amount of weight, or is it just really small? They're probably going to tell you, oh, that's a great amount of weight. Then you go to the next person, and go to the next. And you're probably not going to find anybody in real life. You might find the idiot that's like, well, world record 600, so no, that's nothing. But then if he says that to you, say, well, why don't you go try 3 plates on the bench if it's nothing? So yeah. Don't compare yourself to the very best in the entire world. Which is what the internet allows, because we're all exposed to the very, very best. Try to get a more realistic idea from just people around you. What's normal, what's a lot, what's a little. Also, it was always, all this stuff always happened, just the internet makes it easier. Another thing is that you're seeing people come out of the woodworks as fitness and bodybuilding and stuff, and social media fitness stuff gets more popular. So let's go back 100 years, and not many people would have been into bodybuilding. Bodybuilding existed, but it wasn't that popular, so you got some people that did bodybuilding. As it gets more and more popular and more people start doing it, you have a greater amount of people with really great genetics for building muscle doing it. So 100 years ago, the top tier people, good chance they were just somewhat average people who worked really hard and they got in good shape. Whereas now, because it's so widespread, you've got people that have that 0.00001% genetics for putting on muscle, and they're the people that dominate social media. And then a lot of people go on their social media and are like, well, all the social media people, they're all doing way better. It's, well, yeah, because that's like 0.00001% of the population that happens to have the best genetics for putting on muscle. And another thing is, they probably also have the best genetics for responding to anabolic steroids. Those are different genetics for how well you put on muscle from training and how well you put it on from anabolic steroids. And yeah, I don't need to say that obviously you have to respond well to anabolic steroids to be in the very top of like open class bodybuilders, but you don't need to be like an Instagram fitness model, or nowadays you do need to be for men's physique. But yeah, if you have the best 0.00001% genetics in the world and you just take maybe 100 milligrams of testosterone a week on top of that, you will definitely be one of those people at the top of the online fitness, whatever you want to call it. So remember, don't compare yourself to the top 0.00001%, just like you wouldn't compare yourself to the gold medal Olympic athlete. Like, if you're into running, I mean, if you're really into it, of course you're going to compare yourself to it. But if you're just like, you like to run, it's just a hobby of yours, and you're not trying to be the very, very best in the whole world, you wouldn't compare yourself. Well, Usain Bolt can do this. And I don't know the names of any non-sprinter runner people. Yeah, and then you'd also realize that, well, the people in the Olympics, they have the most specific genetics for what they're doing in the whole world, pretty much. So that also helps a lot. Plus, they're on a lot of drugs, and they respond really well to those drugs. So they start off being super genetically specified for what they're doing, and then you add in the drugs, and they respond really well. Yeah, you shouldn't compare yourself to the top 0.00001%. And I think I've said it enough. My website is andrewhutchings.org, where you can hire me for consultations or buy my book on tendinitis. I recommend you buy it even if you love your tendinitis, because it's not a relationship that will last long. You may have some fun with it somehow, but sooner or later you're not going to like it, and you're going to want to toss it away. And to do that, you're going to want to have the book. You're going to use that book and just whack the tendinitis, and then pick it up and toss it out the door and lock the door. Whatever works for you. Yeah, that book, it's with a hardcover with extra thick, high quality pages. So maybe you turn it on its side so you get less surface area, and you do like a chop to the neck or to the temple or something. Good book for killing tendinitis. Defeating tendinitis. That's why it's called a systematic guide to defeating tendinitis. If tendinitis breaks into your home at night, you can use this book, but have a gun just in case. Because it is just a book. But it's a really good book, so you're probably not going to need anything besides this book to get rid of your tendinitis. Because tendinitis is not a home intruder. It's a medical condition, which the book can teach you how to get rid of. So, I recommend you get it. It wouldn't matter if it costs you $1,000, I mean, unless you physically don't have $1,000, but even if it costs $1,000, you're going to spend that money on doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, medication. That money is going to go, but more importantly, your time, and you only have one life. Unless I make us live forever, you're only going to live like 80 to 100 years, maybe you're going to live 60 years. And each day, each week, each month, each year that goes by that you still have your tendinitis, you're not enjoying life to the fullest. And the book is not $1,000, it's on sale for $100. That's the cost of like one doctor's appointment without gas to drive there. Or maybe that's the cost of like you got the greatest insurance in the world, but you got 4 doctor's appointments and you spent that money on gas driving there and back. It's nothing if you actually put it in perspective. And my Instagram is natural_true_fitness.